Okay, so many of you have said that you haven't had much experience with the Just Right stampers, so I figured for our center ensemble we would use some Just Right stampers. So, the project we're doing today uses the Harmony Classic Circle Stamper 3, and it's 3 1/4 inches wood block. I'm going to use, from this set, there's a butterfly border. Now, I could use the sentiment that comes with it. It's not the destination, but the journey, which also has a butterfly and is beautiful. But I really wanted to show you how their new Times Roman upper and lowercase letters work. So I decided to make my own sentiment, which is exactly what Just Right Stampers is great for. You can pretty much say whatever you want. Okay, so putting that aside, this is the New Times Roman font. Now, when you get your stamps, they pretty much come, well, when you get the font sense, I should say, they come in a case like this and have a cover. This is obviously the lowercase New Times Roman, and unfortunately, I've pretty much just mixed my New Times Roman fonts, upper and lowercase, together because they do go together and I use them together. So, here's my circle block, and as you can see, I've inserted my butterfly border. Now I'm going to just pop it back in. You just literally pop your border on. Okay, that's not so hard. Now this is a New Times Roman uppercase letter. As you can see, it's purple. And I mixed the point fonts. I went between the, I want to say 0.45 and 15. I'm not really sure. But I mixed up my font sizes so that I could fit everything I wanted to say on this particular block. So when you're making your words or sentiments, you literally are just taking, let's see, I'll pop these out. You just take them out and you just pop them in. It's really, really easy. And once they're in, if you don't like where they're placed, you can move them around. It's not like once it's there, it's done. Like I'll show you. Of course, that's not going to behave. So my U is over a little too far. So I want to move it. I'll just slide it over because I want my O even with my butterfly. And I'll just slide that one over. And I basically went on to just create the sentiment that I wanted it to say. Now, I decided, I can't get that to pop in, of course. Just pop it in. Now, when you do have these in, you just want to make sure they're all laying flat. So oftentimes, if I'm not sure if they're all really in there, I'll just take it over here and just kind of take my fist and pound it down. Now I can ensure all my letters are in place. So my sentiment says, you can only fly as high as your dreams. I love that sentiment, and I think having that on a butterfly box is beautiful. I don't know if anybody's ever said that before, but I just like it. So I'm using the same gray ink that I've used for my other project. And I'm going to just seriously ink this up, just like you would any other stamp. Going to flip it over, make sure it's all nice and inky, and it is. And I'm just going to stamp it. Get some even pressure. You don't need to push too hard, and the good thing is these don't really rock. There you go. You can only fly as high as your dreams. Isn't that pretty? So I'm going to close up my ink, put this aside. And I'm going to go back to my shimmers, and I'm just dipping the tip in, and I'm just kind of like dabbing in the center of each butterfly because I really want them to have just that little bit of pink color that my other butterflies on my box had. There. Now, I would let that dry, then I would color spritz it as well. Through the magic of television, I have one that's already done. Here it is. Isn't that pretty? I've also put together a pretty felt flower along with a velvet flower and a diamond brad. And I have just a dimensional on there. I'm going to stick it in the corner like that. Isn't that pretty? And now I'm going to take some more dimensionals and I'm going to put it on the back of this, and then I'm going to adhere it to my box. We don't want to put any adhesive at the top portion because then our letters that we put inside our box will stick. Here we go. I'm going to turn this, put it on, make sure it's in the center. You know what? I think I want to move some of that adhesive because it's laying right on the ribbon, which means it's not really sticking to where I need it to. I'll apply a little bit more. There we go. Okay. Now we are in business. There we go. How pretty is that?